Hi, I am Christina Wolfe, and today's workshop is called How to Discover Your Gifts and How to Create a Workshop. So, the reason why I'm doing this is because I have heard of so many people who either kind of know what their gift is or are still interested in figuring out what their gift is. And for the ones who maybe already have a gift, they don't know what to do with it, but they know that they just want to help other people. And that's been kind of like the um the thing that I just keep hearing from so many people is, I want to help people, I want to help people, and then they really don't know, how to go and give their gift, and show, like, basically show the world about it. So what we're going to do here today is tell you a little bit about me and how I discovered my gifts, and maybe that's going to be able to help you discover yours as well. After this, we're going to have all these different sections that's going to teach you how to find your gift and also how to create it, like literally step by step, so that at the very end of this course, you're going to have a workshop that you have created. Okay, so super exciting. So a little bit about me. I was born in Taiwan and I came to San Francisco when I was only 1 year old with my family of four. And ever since I was little, I just knew I was a little bit different than other people. I never really fit in any of the groups or any of the crowds. Um, I had a couple of good friends here and there, but I just never felt like I really fit in. I know when I was little, I always thought a little bit differently. I don't, now I understand why. And I wasn't able to discover that I had gifts until I went through some really hard, life changing things in my life. Not going to get into that deep here for this context, but um, I really feel like when you go through trauma and when you go through really hard parts of your life, that is the time for self-discovery. So there was, just fast forward in my life of having a very hard child life to me, to now having a harder child life, harder an adult life. That was really when I felt like so many things were falling apart for me. I just lost who I was. I just didn't even know, um, you know, like who I was anymore. You know what I mean? And at that time where, I wasn't even anywhere near 50, but it was like a midlife crisis, or they call it like a dark night of the soul or something like that. I really feel like the new term should be like the the not midlife crisis, but more like midlife discovery. And it's not even midlife, because things like, could be earlier in your life, but discovery phase of your life. And I remember going to a shop in Berkeley, and I don't even know why I felt like going, but they had all of these different instruments, and I saw all of these singing bowls. And the store guy asked me if I wanted to experience the singing bowl. And I was like, oh yeah, I've already heard it before. I've been in yoga class and they've, rang that little copper bowl. He's like, no, have you experienced it? And I was like, no. So I actually stood in a copper singing bowl. Yeah, I stood in it. And as I was standing in there, he hit the bowl, and it just vibrated. And I was like, oh, that's super cool. And I felt really relaxed. And then he, put it in my hand, like a smaller one. And I felt really compelled to buy it. And when I asked my friends if they ever experienced a bowl, and they're like, yeah, I've heard of it. And I'm like, no, have you experienced it? And they're like, no. So I would put it in their hand, and, I would, circle it and start to vibrate. And I would say like these things, and it was exactly, I guess, what they needed to hear at that moment. And many times they were getting teary eyed, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, what am I saying that's hurt, upsetting you?" Blah blah. They're like, "No, it's exactly what I needed to hear right now." And so that was kind of like how I discovered one of my gifts. And it was really like by chance, because I wasn't around anybody who was offering something like this, where it gave me permission and it gave me awareness and gave me space to discover it. So that was more of a organic. And you guys all probably already have you guys already have the gifts. I know you just have to remember that you have your gifts, right? And also discovery of new gifts, where maybe you pick it up from somebody else who might have it, and you're like, I'm kind of interested in singing, and going to learn from this person so that I can do that. So in the upcoming workshops, it's discovering your gift, and as well as perhaps finding an interest that you have to find the gift. So that's a little bit about me and how I found one of my gifts. And the other ones were really just by accident, where I would say about nothing's by accident, right? I was in alignment. I have been working on myself for a really long time, and I felt like my vessel was very clear so that the other gifts can start opening up, which is reading like the Akashic records, which is really, if you really think about it, it's like the blockchain of life, where everything's happened, has happened, will happen, could happen. We can access that if you have a pure vessel. There's like, it's like the secret key to the book of knowledge, right? So I believe that your gifts will start opening up. Like, for example, singing and dancing. I never used to have a voice. I didn't think so. And perhaps some people still might differ that I have a voice now, but I do definitely sound better now than I did before. And I know there was an unlocking of whatever you want to call it, throat chakra, whatnot. But as time went on, that I discovered who I am and had more confidence, had the awareness of it, had the space, and also people to hold my hand through it, to guide me, to be my cheerleader. Like literally all of that has to be there, I believe, for us to just discover the gifts. Because, if I didn't have anybody to try my gifts on, or maybe the wrong person to try my gift on, who would not confirm, deny maybe some of the stuff I said, and they're like, no, that's not true, then I might think that my gifts aren't accurate, right? Or I don't have a gift, because everything I was saying was, not what they were denying. It's not true. However, if you work with the right people and you're a safe place, somebody who knows himself very well, when you do say something, they will confirm, wow, yeah, you're right on. So something like that. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to delve into the next workshop, which is going to be super exciting. So thank you for joining me. I'm very excited to walk you through how to discover your gifts and how